Hey there, friends. Welcome to day 2 of Halloween Spooktacular. How are we doing? I'm gonna zoom out a little. Hey there. Welcome in, friends. Friends, goblins, ghosts, creators. Pardon my reach. Who's excited? Oh, it's totally crooked. Oh my gosh. Why? Hi there. Hey, Kathy, Carolyn, Brenda. Welcome. As I move the mat around. Hi, Olga. Boo. Boo to you. Hey, Valley. Hey, friends. Happy Saturday. We are making, let me move that over. Template 4 from the Halloween Spooktacular 2023 mini flower bundle. Hey, Jeanette. Hi, Diane. I'm going to put on my gloves like we're doing surgery for inking. And we're going to make 2 flowers today. So this is flower number 1. I did change the color for this one. I'm going to try a red, and this is Recollections Red that comes in its own paper pack. And you can purchase it at Michael's. My green is the Jelly Bean Green from CardstockWarehouse.com. And we need, sorry, I'm just putting on my gloves. Hi, Grace. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome in, friends. It is day 2. Super excited. I've been working on styling the flowers and then cutting them and all afternoon. So since 12 o'clock. It was a late night last night and so much fun for day 1. It was hard to wind down. So for our sepals, we are using center number 2. It's at the bottom of our paper here. So we need 1 at 3.75 inches and 1 at 4.25 inches wide. Okay? So that's going to be our sepal. So you're going to cut it in green. Then starting at the top with our largest petals, we have 3 of them at 4.5 inches for petal 1. It's an 8 petal. We need 1 at 4.25 inches wide. So we're following down from the top now. And 1 at 4 inches wide. Then we're switching to petal number 2, which is a 7 petal. And we need 1 at 3.75. Jelly, are they completely out of it now? You can use the green from Spice Market. I know I bought lots of paper packs from them, so of it. And 1 at 3.5 inches wide. So petal 2 again, sorry. I'll type up a chart when we're done, like I did last night. 1 at 3.25 inches. 1 at 3 inches. And then we're going to switch to center number 4. So we're using mini flower number 4 from the bundle. So we need 2 of them at 3 inches wide. And then we switch to center 1. We need 5 of them at 2.75. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I got some pre-inked for our second flower. I do have most of that pre-inked, and that's a smaller flower. Today we are using just 2 of my favorites, the Black Soot and Forest Moss. They did have it in the clearance. That's a bummer. Anything like a dark olive green. I have a lighter color, but it's too light. I would say that's more spring. But definitely like the Spice Market green you could use. I'd have to look at their new line of paper to see what replaced it. But again, we're using Forest Moss and Black Soot. I'm using the red by Recollections, and again, that was the green I just chose to use. Now this one was, persimmon color from the Spice Market from Michael's. So you can definitely use the Spice Market green with all these flowers. So she's super pretty, and she's like a 4.5 inch flower. So we're making a little bit larger. Okay. I'm just going to put this out of the way. So welcome everyone. I hope you loved yesterday's tutorial with template number 3. Super fun. And this one is also an awesome shaped flower. So we're going to start with our 2 sepals. We're going to add forest moss. And I like to put that all over my petals. So just brush it out. So yeah, we have to get through some inking. It's amazing where 4 hours just went, like blink of an eye. I don't know if anybody else is having troubles with the Cricut Design Space. It's not cutting all of my petals. So I literally have to go back and check everything. It started doing that yesterday. But thank you all for joining. I am Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and I am kicking off day 2 of Halloween Spooktacular. We're making 2 flowers, and then tomorrow we will create 1 flower and assemble our project, or pretty much hopefully get it done. So we're super excited, and I am kicking off today, and then followed by Forever Petals by V at 6 p.m. Eastern on her Facebook page. And then we have a special tutorial by Florist the Explorist, the Halloween edition, where he'll be live at 8 p.m. Eastern time, or 7 Central. So we're so happy you can be with us here today, and we can inspire you to make some creations. Now, of course, any of these flowers can be used for any occasion, not just for Halloween. So if you don't want to use black ink, you can use another colored ink. So for today, I'm just using forest moss and my favorite black soot. Oh, Wendy, awesome. Thank you, thank you. Now we're just going to go around the edges. And for the sepal, again, we're using center number 2. And today we're working with template 4 mini flower. So our friend Forever Petals by V will also be using template 4 from her bundle, Spooktacular 2023 bundle. So the quickest way I found inking, and I don't know why I didn't ever think of that, is to come down one side, and then you go back, and you can go quickly around all the petals on the opposite side. So I'm adding some black to my greens just because we are making some skeleton or a coffin with the flowers, so as part of our project. So we want it a little bit dirty, spooky, so much fun. So we're looking forward to hanging out with you all weekend. It's kind of dreary here in Pennsylvania as the tropical storm is coming up the coast. Oh, my nail polish was purple. And now it went to the light purple. And again, we're just coming around all the sides, adding the black to distress our leaves. So you can see on the back that it'll have leaves. Now, if you choose not to use a sepal, that's perfectly okay. I just think it kind of finishes it off, and especially if I have it at an angle. Hi V! Hey friends! Thank you for joining. We are starting with flower 1 of 2 flowers. So this is our larger one. She's super beautiful. This petal design was designed by V. And then we just come back down the other side. So we have quite a bit of inking just because, again, I didn't get to pre-ink it. But our second flower I do have mostly inked. So bear with me. We're super excited to have you here, and we get to inspire you to create your flowers for your spooky creations or not spooky. So again, of course, the inking is totally optional. We're using 65-pound cardstock. We have our finger dabbers. We're using just 2 colors of ink, which are pretty much my staples of the forest moss, and then black soot. And the black soot comes off almost as a dark gray. So very, very spooky, chalky dark gray. So I'm super excited to see how it turns out with the red instead of, and again, this is persimmon from the Spice Market paper pack. Now I'm trying a red flower to add a little bit of other color in there. So that's your 2 sepals. Again, it was center number 2. So if you're just joining, don't worry. I showed the sizes at the beginning. We went over it, but I will type up a chart, post it in the comments, and again, I'll make another posting. So that way you can get it until the handout is ready. For all of the petals, we're just going to use our black soot. So sit back, have some fun. We can chit chat as we ink. I do ink both sides of my petals, so it does take a little bit longer. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 16, but I did get some of them done already, the smaller ones. So we hope you had a great day. Did anybody get any of the flowers created from yesterday, either from V's tutorial or mine? And just remember, there's still time you can purchase our bundles. They are listed in each of our Etsy shops, and I do have them linked in the description above. They are 50% off for the month. And again, I'm following that technique where you just come down the one side, go all the way around, and that way then you can flip it over, and then you just you do the opposite side. And again, I'm not being careful. I want it to look dirty and distressed, just because it is Halloween. And honestly, if I were doing it regular, I probably still would. Okay, so again, we're just going to ink our hearts out. I don't know, Brenda. Hope everybody was safe. We're just getting a lot of rain. Right now we're in a lull. And the wind from Ophelia, the tropical storm. It is more coastal, so I'm pretty far inland here in PA. Okay, and then we're going to just come down the other side. So thank you again for hanging out. We hope you loved all of our tutorials so far, and this is day 2 of 3. And you get 3 tutorials, so just remember, at 6 p.m. Eastern, our friend B will be going live on her business page, and then followed by Florist the Explorers on B's business page at 8 p.m. Eastern. So sit back, get a snack, get a drink while I ink. And I am wearing gloves for this part because the black soot does get everywhere. And then we just come down the opposite side. So I am trying to go super fast. Get them, girl, especially for all your marigolds. I get them on Amazon. I went through a lot of them today. Again, just go around your edges, and I think this definitely will make it look super pretty, not as Christmassy with the black, But I wanted to try it with the red, to throw in another color besides our oranges and golds. I think the red will look pretty. And then we just come down the other side and you go all the way around. So I'm trying to go fast, so bear with me as we get through some inking, but honestly, it is totally worth it, friends. The wind's really blowing. You can hear it against the doors. Yeah, V, this one is red, Recollections Red. The other flower, I used the persimmon from Spice Market. But this one is red, so I wanted to try that. Okay, and then we come down the opposite sides as we ink away. What's your favorite part of Spooktacular so far, friends? I made sure I had a little snack before I went live and used the facilities, so hopefully my sugar should be good. I told my friend, I'm like, I don't know what happened yesterday when my sugar dropped. I've been under a lot of stress this week, so I think that's what did it. But I'm all good. I slept good. Oh my God, that's hysterical. I love it, V. I know we're usually on the same thought process. Because I'll be like, oh, I have this idea, and then I see you make it. It's crazy. Again, you don't want it to be clean. This is Halloween. Now, again, if you don't want to ink at all, you don't have to. So I've been going down just the one side. Oh, awesome. That makes our hearts happy for sure. Makes me smile. I am wearing a Camp Crystal Lake t-shirt in honor of Friday the 13th movies, our Halloween movies. So I'm channeling as a camp counselor, but for Halloween. And I didn't watch any spooky movies yet while we were creating. I was getting caught up on Big Brother. V, what do you think? We haven't talked about that. So thanks everyone. Happy Saturday. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending when you're watching live or in replay. We thank you for being here, for your likes, your shares, your follows, and just hanging out and the camaraderie around here. And, you know, just the everyday chit chat where we get to share our lives a little bit with you and you can share your lives with us. That we're all in this together. We each have bad days. But we also have lots of laughs together, but it's okay. Like even when I say I cried, you know, from stress, that a bunch of you said the same thing, and it made me feel that yes, it is okay to be upset some days and be stressed out. So that's what it's all about. We're all here together. And we're here to inspire you for some fun creations. I think this petal design is a perfect complement to our other one, so it's going to give you a little bit more rounder shape than the spikier, even though it comes to a point. I love it. So I'm going down the right side. I was trying to see. So again, when I'm inking now, I'm trying to do it the fast way, is you go down one side. Seriously, V? I'll have to take a picture of mine. I have a green one on. Normally I wear the blue one, but I do have a green one. Girl, we're on the same page. See, we're channeling not being together, and we swear, everyone, we did not speak at all today or what we were wearing. And the good news is my brother can't scare me because he's in Charleston now. Exactly, Carolyn. That's funny. Yes. And we're just coming around and we're just going inking both sides around the edges. Now certainly if you just want to do the very top, you could do that. You could do the technique which V did yesterday, outline it depending on what color you're using. Especially like if you're using a black. But I definitely wanted to try the red. Because when I had put the filter on the photo to tell you that we're going live at 4, I was like, ooh, I think I like it with the red. And I find using the finger dabbers are the quickest, and I use them until they're all chewed up like the sponge, which is starting to happen with this one. So you see the little particles around here. But I try and make them last as long as possible. Right now I have 4 different ones going. They are available in my Amazon storefront if you do need any. And now we're getting smaller, so we're getting there. So just bear with me. Again, inking all the way around. It's hard not to ink when it is Halloween, so you can add that little extra detail. And I did miss, did anybody start making any of the flowers? Whether mine or V's? So I am standing. I was sitting most of the day except for when I assemble. So like if I'm inking, I normally will just sit. And now we're going to come down the opposite side. But definitely when I assemble my flowers, I do have to stand. Oh, awesome, Linda, Kathy, and Stephanie. Great job. Makes my heart happy. So again, I'm just coming up and around. And if my fingers are making those, making little fingerprints on the petals, that's okay. And B, your Barbie that you got at HEB is beautiful. She was stunning. I'm drinking out of my HEB mug that you got me from Texas. Because last week, let me tell you, friends, I almost freaked out. A lot of times I will just drink out of regular cups sometimes. But last week I spilled it. And it nearly ruined my pumpkin. I almost got it where it went everywhere. So now I need to use cups with lids when I'm crafting. Nathan, how's your conference? Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, she was beautiful, Barbie. And again, this is template for mini flower from the Halloween Spooktacular 2023 mini flower bundle. So I like to try and do one super duper detailed, really full. We're making a 4.5 inch, so she's a little bit bigger. She fills in a lot, as you can see from my sample I made. And I did not change it for our tutorial from my first attempt. I was happy it worked out. So again, we're just adding some black soot, distress oxide around all of the petals. Well, I'm glad your conference is going well, and I'm super glad that you got to stop by. The ladies were asking about you last night. Miss Linda was checking in where everybody was. Tammy, yourself, Maria. Maria was painting. So who doesn't love a red flower that's all distressed and looks old and cobwebby and dirty? And even for, oops, gosh, this is center number 4. And even with this, I'm going to go around the edges. So I still go down the one side. Super sneaky, aren't you? I like that. I appreciate you stopping in and participating. And thank you to everyone here. We are so excited and to bring you these special collaborations between the two of us. We do thoroughly enjoy it and love inspiring all of you. And to show you how you can also use the mini flowers with the larger flower templates for like the centers. Like this would definitely be a great center, or even just this flower inside the large template. So I'm literally going down each of the petals, even these. So I hold the petal with my thumb and then I just come down the side. Okay, and then we're going to do that down the other side. So I do the one side on each petal. And these, you always think these centers look crazy, but they make such pretty flower centers. I have been doing a lot of inking, so my finger is hurting. So this is like my 5th flower I inked today. So please stretch, please take care of your arms. We want you here to be able to keep crafting with us. And now you just go down the other side. We love that you're spending your weekends here with us. We hope we are your favorite paper florists. We won't tell Florist the Explorers that you favor us over him. Okay, so both sides, and that again was center 4. Look, I have it done. And then this is center 1. We have 5 of these. So for this one, I literally, all I'm going to do is put it down on my scratch paper, and brush over it. So it's going to make it like a gray with a hint of red coming through. And I purposely kind of leave the tops not as gray. And then we flip it over. So it's just kind of toning down the redness. Now, of course, you could add some red puff paint to add a little bit more gore to it, kind of like we did the clowns last year. I opened up the file for the 2022 Spooktacular handout last night to start updating it, and I saw my clown flower and it made my heart so happy. And now I'm just going through and I'm holding it at the tip and I'm just trying to get the tips a little bit with the black. So you can see just a little bit at the top. I know we do, Nathan. I so agree. I did both sides right. All right, we're done inking. So I did all the rest of those. Woo! Thank you for hanging out. That was a little bit long, but we got through it. So now let's style our girl here. I'm going to take out our piece of paper. I'm so mad. I washed, oh, there you can see a little bit of the dark purple. I washed my hands and let's see if I can get them darker. And they were dark purple, and then they quick switched over. But you can see the tips are a little purple, yeah. Is it better if I have white down? Ah, thank you, Grace. All right, again, here are the sizes. I'll type up a beautiful chart for you till we get our handout. So let's style our sepals. This is our larger one at 4.25. We're going to use the 1/4 inch dowel rod. So we're going to get out our chart. And that is our olivey green one. Basically the color of our leaf. And we're going to roll them up. So place your dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. Okay? Place it down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath. So if you let go, this hand is holding it in place. With your opposite hand, you come up and around, you pinch the petal up with your thumb, you let go, and you roll it between your fingers. So when I say pinch and roll, that's what we're doing. Okay, place it down in the middle of the petal, thumb, index finger. Once you get a hang of it, you literally don't even have to look. I can look at your comments and roll at the same time. Now we're going to flip it over because it's going to be assembled with it under. For our 3.75, we're switching to our blue, our coastal blue color, as I like to call it, 3/16. We're going to, again, place it down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up, and roll. Pinch and roll. Pinch and roll. Okay, so I am going to move this out of the way. Okay, we're going to flip it over, and this is actually going to be on the bottom because we add that one first. Now we're going to start with our petals. So we have them all inked. I'm going to flip it over and we're going to start with our largest. Okay. So I'm going to take 2 of them. And this is petal number 1. They're 4.5 inches wide. And we're going to take our 5/16, which is our red dowel rod. And you're going to place it down in the middle of the petal, and you're just going to pinch it up and roll it a few times between your fingers, okay? Pinch it up and roll it a few times. So this is Recollections Red, and again, I use the black soot Distress Oxide around all the edges on both sides of every single petal. Pinch it up, let go, and roll it between your fingers. Pinch it up, roll it between your fingers. We're going to roll it all the way over because these are going to be assembled with the petals rolled under. Our third petal, which is also 4.5 inches wide, we're still going to use the 5/16, and we're going to roll it up. Pinch it up and roll it between your fingers a few times. That way it's going to hold its shape a little, so roll it between your fingers. Pinch it up and roll. Thank you all for the hearts. You're so sweet. She's going to be so beautiful, and I'm super excited to see it in the red. And you need to stay tuned because at 6 p.m. Eastern time or 5 p.m. Central, our friend and collaborator and mentor, Forever Petals by V, will be live on her Facebook page to bring you another tutorial. So it's a fun-filled evening with us. We're going to switch now to our green dowel rod, which is our olivey green, the 1/4 inch. And this is for layer 4, the 4.25 inch. You're going to place it down in the middle of your petal, pinch it up, and roll. You can leave your gloves on because mine are going to get black again, but not as bad as when I'm inking. Oops, and I did that wrong. All right, we're going to do one petal up and one petal down. And we're going to roll one up, so place it down the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. You're going to skip a petal, pinch it up, and roll. Skip a petal, pinch it up, and roll. Skip, pinch it up, and roll. Now roll it all the way over, so now the petals that we just rolled are rolled under, and now we roll these up. Pinch it up, and roll. Sorry about that. So layer 4, we're using the 1/4 inch dowel rod, and one petal is rolled up and one petal under. And that's why we ink on both sides. And we're going to put that on our pile. We're going to continue with the 4-inch wide petal number 1. We're still going to use our olive green, and we're going to again do the one petal up and one petal under. So place that 1/4 inch dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up and roll. Skip, pinch it up and roll, skip, pinch it up and roll, skip, pinch and roll. Flip it all the way over, so now the ones we just rolled are showing under, and now we roll the 4 other petals up. So place the dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath. With your opposite hand, bring it around the petal to lift it up around the dowel rod, let go, and roll it between your fingers. So again, one petal up, one petal down, every other petal. We place it on our pile to make our assembly super easy, and we don't even have to think about it anymore. We're now going to switch to a smaller dowel rod, and why do we do that? Because our petals are starting to they're not as wide, and we want more of a curl as it comes into our center of our flower. So now we switch to petal 2, which is a 7 petal. And this is 3.75 inches, and we're going to use our blue 3/16. Place it down in the middle of the petal, and we're going to roll all these up. Pinch it up and roll. So even though this is still a little bit wider, it's getting a nice curl to the petal. And why does it look orange on camera? Does it look red for you? Maybe it's just my computer. It looks red on my phone, but all right, this is our 3.5 inch petal number 2, and we're going to continue with the blue dowel rod, our 3/16. and we're going to roll it up. Place it down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. So thank you all for joining. If you just jumped on, this is flower 1 of 2 we're making using template 4 mini flower from the Halloween Spooktacular 2023 mini flower bundle. And we will also be using template 4 from her Halloween Spooktacular bundle. And maybe she'll be using some of the mini flowers as well. I'm not sure. I do miss being in the same location for sure. The 3.25 inch, we're going to continue with the blue 3/16 inch dowel rod, and you're going to pinch it up and roll. And all these petals will be rolled up. So be sure to keep an eye on social media as we make our posts and our stories, and just stay in contact with everything that's happening with Halloween Spooktacular and behind the scenes. And now this is a 3-inch wide, and then we're still going to use that 3/16 inch blue dowel rod. Place it down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. Pinch and roll. We're just going all the way around. Happy weekend, friends. Oh my God, I am so excited. I literally, if I had any rhythm on dancing, I would. I was so excited to sleep in just a little bit today. I'm sorry, had to take a sip. When my creativity's flowing and we're being creative and having fun here on social media, I don't sleep. So I was up till 1:30 in the morning. So you saw a lot of late posts from me yesterday. All right, now we have 2 of center number 4. We're going to stack these on another pile because we like to create, once our flower gets closed up in the center, we create our center outside of the flower and then glue that bundle together into the center. So whenever I talk about center out, you start from the smallest to which ones we have left, and then you assemble them and glue it in the center. So we're going to take the dowel rod named after me. This is the 6-inch wide one. It's skinnier than 1/8. Again, anything that you have that is round. I know I got some paint brushes from Dollar Tree. You can always use them, a skewer. But these do come in my dowel rod set. They are not color coded. So we named her Julie. So when you see that, that's just me. We are going to roll every single petal here. I'm doing it individually just because these are super thin. And when I cut everything, I had it on just the regular cardstock setting, but I use the Cricut Premium Fine Cut Blade. And I had no issues with any cutting my flowers. So we're going to place that little dowel rod down in there, and we're just going to pinch around it. There's not a lot of rolling you have to do, and because I'm right-handed, you're going to see it comes in more from one side, and that's okay. I like to go through and do all the larger ones first. Yes! Dance like no one's watching. I love that. No one is watching here in my craft room, all by myself. All right, and then for the little flowers, or the little buds here, we're still rolling those tips. So literally, I go in a little bit of an angle. Pinch it around, give it a couple squeezes. So however you like to do it, if you want to do it more traditionally, or from the sides, you can just pinch around it to give it a little bit of a curl. Nathan, is your conference local or did you travel somewhere? All right, so we're going to put that separately. And again, we're going to take that Julie dowel rod and we're going to use it on all of them, but I like to first roll the larger petals. I like to do some that, again, that look like the Washington Monument for some reason. Oh, that's good. You didn't have to travel then. I talked to the new guy in the apartment building next to us, finally, and I was like, I said, oh, are you from Texas? Because he has a Texas license plate. He said he's originally from New Orleans or Louisiana because he had a southern accent. And then, but he was in Texas. I was like, oh, I was just there. I didn't say for flower camp in San Antonio. And he said he loves San Antonio. I said, I can't wait to go back. And then I just said, welcome to the neighborhood. All right, for our 5 center ones, we like to use, when they get super skinny, we use our pieces of 18 gauge floral stem wire. So always keep your little pieces. I have them in a Mickey pumpkin next to my workstation. So, you know, anytime you cut things off, I always leave them there. So if you want to use a larger piece, a smaller, it doesn't matter. I'm doing these individually, and you're just going to really curl them. Oops. Yeah, I am showing it right. Yeah. I know. San Antonio. I said, I can't wait to go back. Okay, pinch it up and roll. So it gets super duper skinny. So you will have that tight curl to it. Hi, Amanda. Oh, no, still hot. I had a sweat jacket on. I have to wear it to go outside today. It's chilly. Plus it has a hood, so when it was pouring rain and I went to Dunkin' Donuts, I had my hoodie up. I thought for sure my hair would curl, but it's not humid anymore. I know, man, it's cold. Oh, Bally, mine's doing that on my computer. Maybe if you go back out, it's not doing it on my phone. I'm sorry it's doing it. I don't know. It sometimes does it just on the computer. But nothing's happening like with my phone that I can see. Oh no, Carolyn. Okay, we're just pinching it up and around. So if it gets a little crazy, it's going to come in more from one side. And again, mine always come in from the right just because I'm right-handed. Oh, I'm sorry, Bally. Thank you for stopping by. Be sure to check out Bee's tutorial. Maybe hers won't be flashing like mine is. Because when I look at the comments, it does it. Probably the weather, that darn Ophelia, the winter storm. So thank you, friends, for hanging out, whether you're stopping by, the likes, the shares. We hope you appreciate these special events, and you get a Saturday tutorial from me. Normally I am in the craft room, but we always don't go live on a Saturday. So we hope you are enjoying this. And we are just styling flower number 1. And I am using Recollections Red. It comes in a pack of 50 if they still offer that one. My original flower, I'll show you then together, was made with the persimmon from the Spice Market packet. And I hurt my thumb pretty bad in the door yesterday, so I thought for sure I broke my nail. I thought it was going to crack far down, but it didn't. All right, let's get our flower shaping mat out. So we kept center number 2 or 4 in a separate pile and center number 1 in a separate pile. And then we have all of our petal 1 and 2 here. So we have them stacked from largest to smallest. So now we're just going to flip them over because we're going to assemble our flower. We're going to take the 2 that are rolled under, layer 1 and 2. We're going to place them on our flower shaping mat. We're going to use our metal ball stylus tool. So they come in a set of 4. They have a different size metal ball at either end. If you are newer here, we use these to shape our flowers for assembly and how we lift our petals. We're in, when you make larger flowers, you have the individual petals. We cut up the center. This is how we lift our petals up. All right, so these are a little bit larger. We can go with a larger one here. And I do offer these in my Etsy shop as part of paper flower starter kits, or you can just purchase them on your own. We're going to roll the petals on our mat, go right to where the petals meet the base, and roll right around. Okay, we don't want them lifted up too much, but just enough to make that center flat. Roll again around where the petals meet the base. So I'm not rolling in the center, I'm just rolling right where they meet. So you can see that circular center. Okay, you flip it over. I'm using my SureBonder mini glue gun. It does have a precision tip and the stand does flip up, which is nice. I like to use the 8-inch Gorilla Glue sticks. All right, so we're going to look at our top 2 petals. We're going to look at a petal and bring it straight down in between. And again, I highly recommend standing if you can, because you can look directly over top of your flower so it doesn't get all wonky or like off center. How do you like that description? All right, so we're going to rotate it like we do. You can rotate it a lot more than you do with your larger flowers. We just want to try and keep it even. So layer 3 is rolled up, so we're going to again roll right around where the petals meet the base. So I do press pretty hard. And it lifts them right up. You add some glue in the center. And I kind of look at this X, and we look at those top 2. So layer 1 and 3 are lined up. So we're going to look at one petal, bring it straight down. This is exactly the same size. So it's giving it a nice round appearance. You can roll again to make sure it's secure. Okay, layer 4, one petal is rolled up and one petal rolled under. So roll around with your metal ball stylus where the petals meet the base. And you're really lifting up your petals. Add some hot glue. And we're going to look at 2 petals. We're going to look at a petal and bring it straight down. Now these are rolled one petal up and one petal down. So it's going to give it a little bit of a different appearance. And then our next one is layer 5, and they are rolled one petal up and one petal down. And this is our last one of petal 1. Add a little bit of glue. Keep rotating it around. Look at the top 2 petals. We're going to look at a petal and bring it straight down in between. I can tell this one's rolled a lot more. I think when I talk, when I'm teaching it, I tend to roll harder. So pretty. Okay, now we're going to take our first one of petal 2, which is a 7 petal one. I'm going to switch to my smaller metal ball stylus because my center is getting smaller. But we're still going to roll right where the petals meet the base. It lifts it right up. Okay, you add your hot glue in the center. We're going to look at the top 2 petals, look at a petal, and bring it straight down in between. So yeah, you're switching from 8 to 7, so they're not going to be perfectly in the center between the previous layers petals. So pretty. Oops. Again, because we have them stacked, it makes assembling the flower go super fast. And I was able to style it and assemble it, not the inking, in about 15 minutes. When I filmed my sample flower. And that was figuring out how to make the flower. So I'm going to go here, there's a little bit of a spot. I'm going to pick a petal. I'm going to look there and bring it straight down in between. And this is why I like standing directly over helps with placement. Okay, flip your petals over. I'm using the second to smallest. Roll where the petals meet the base. Add some hot glue. If you get any glue strings, it's okay for this one because it's a Halloween flower. Look at the top 2 petals, look at a petal. Bring it straight down. And you can stir with your metal ball stylus tool. So we're getting pretty closed up, but we're just going to assemble all of those. We can still get this one in there. Roll where the petals meet the base in a circular motion on your flower shaping mat with your metal ball stylus tool. Woo! That's a mouthful to say. You add your hot glue on the back. And we're going to keep rotating it around. And you at least see they might stack a little. That's okay. We're going to fill it in. And we're just going to look at these 2 petals, look at this petal, and bring it straight down. So I kind of just focus on one of them. I love it in the red. Now we're going to take our center 4, which we have 2 of them, and then center 1, we have 5. We're going to lay them out on our flower shaping mat. Okay, I'm going to roll the center of all of them. We don't have to cut into the center because this center is super small. Okay, now we're going to start with one of our 5. Choose any one of them. I like to fold it up and try and put them in between, and then just fold it back and forth any which way. Okay. Thank you, Diane. And I just squeeze the bottom a little. Add your glue along the bottom. So it does come up a little bit on the sides. We're going to glue into our next center. Give it a moment. Fold them up and around. Just gather them around. It's going to be a tight center. So I always squeeze the bottom a little. Okay, add your hot glue and go into one of the other ones. There's 5 of them. Check it on the back because then you can make sure it's even. Yeah. I'm not touching a spider though. Okay, fold them up and around, and gather it. Thank you all for joining for day 2. Again, if you're new here, be sure to say hi and let us know where you're watching from. We welcome you in with open arms. And we're going to fold them up and around. And if you are new here, I do love a full flower. And why? Because it helps it keep its shape. It's not going to open up a lot. So you'll see I do like, gosh, what did I say? This one had 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 16, which normally I won't, I'll do odd number. But these centers are little. You're just gluing into all 5 a center 1. You're just gluing them into one another. Ah, Karen, I hear you. Welcome. I'm your neighbor in PA. It is dreary today. Okay, we're going to keep continuing to add the glue on the bottom. And now we're going into our last 2 petals, which are center 4. I like to flip it over just to make sure it's semi-even. And then you just fold them up and around. Our bottom is super small, which makes it easier for us to glue it in there. And our center will be a little bit higher, which makes it super duper pretty. Give it a moment. I can't believe these were so dark purple, and well, the tips are still a little bit darker than the rest of the nail. If you don't know, they're color changing nail polish. It gets darker if it's in the cold. So now we're just going to glue her right in the center of our flower. I love she's like squishy in the center, and it fits perfectly in there. She would be super duper pretty stemmed as well. So pretty. Let's add our sepals. We're going to flip it over. We're going to add the larger one. So with the petals rolled under, we're going to add glue on the top here. I'm going to place it right in the center. So if you choose to use the sepal again, I like to use it. Add glue again with the petals rolled under. We flip it and we're going to place it in between the previous layers. I like to do 2 layers of sepals. I don't know why. I like the layered look. And that is our first flower for today. So that's what she looks like in red. She is super duper pretty. This is the persimmon color using the same Distress Oxide. And this is from the Spice Market packet. So you have red, like the Christmas red they have, and then the persimmon color from Spice Market. She's so pretty. The red is super duper pretty. So that's our first flower. Now we're going to make a second flower. Now I did add a few more layers and when we're going to make it. So it's a nice little change in texture from your first one. Okay, so we like to have all different shapes and sizes and textures. So she's going to be super duper pretty. So we're going to make her now. So I'll move these out of the way for now. And I did ink a lot of these. Where is it? Alright, so for this is flower number 2, friends. Yes, Karen, I use a Cricut. I use the Cricut Explorer Air 2. So with the bundle, you get 2 templates for our Halloween Spooktacular mini flower bundle. And with all of that, with mini flower 3, you get 4 centers, 3 leaves, and 3 different petal designs. So yesterday we worked with 3. Today we're working with 4. You get 4 centers, 3 leaves, and 3 petal designs. So there's lots of different combinations that we can make. So yesterday we did work with all 3 petals. And the leaves are super duper fun. I did cut some. To start stemming them. So from leaf number 3 for mini flower 3, I love it. It's super spooky. Okay, so we're going to make this one now, and this is from mini flower number 4, part of the bundle. Okay, and again, I added a few more layers because it was too open for me. But she's still pretty. I will use her. So for this one, for flower number 2, we're still going to use the same sepal, which is center number 2. So we need one at 3.25 inches wide and one at 2.75. Okay. For our largest petals, we're being crazy with this one. We are using center number 4. Again, the shapes, it's amazing how the flowers turn out. That's what I love. So we're going to do 3 of them at 3.5. So 1, 2, 3. And then 2 of them at 3.25 inches wide. So you should just be able to type in the width, and if you have the image locked from when you upload it from me, you the height will automatically adjust. So if it's off, I think one of mine changed a little bit, the one number, but you need 2 of them at 3.25. Then back to center number 1 that we used in our last tutorial. We need 4 of these. And then for our very center, we're using a rolled center. Now and this is center number 3. What you're going to do is unlock the image in your machine's design space. You're going to type in the width and the height. Then you're going to lock it at that 3 inches wide by 1.1 inches high, and then you're going to duplicate it 4 times. And you need 4 of those. All right, so we are now going to, hi Lisa, we are, again, I will type it up in a nice chart, post it in the comments after we're done, but then I'll also make a separate post for you, kind of like I did last night. And then you do get a Halloween Spooktacular handout once the event's over. All right, friends, I'm going to get another piece of scratch paper here. Now the inking isn't too bad. I did get this one pre-inked, so you won't have to watch me as much. We're still using forest moss on my sepal and then going over it with the black soot because it is Halloween. So we're going to take our finger dabber again. And we're just going to brush the green over it. I want a little bit of color variation. You don't see it too much, but it adds just enough. Flip it over and do exactly the same thing. And I'm not careful on how I do it. Me, it's more like peace of mind. I have to do it. If I ink the petals, I have to ink my sepals. And then we just go back with our forest moss. Change up my, or I'm sorry, with the black soot. And again, go around the edges. So I'm just going to come down the right side of all the petals. And once we do that, then I just come down the opposite side. So I just change how I'm holding it. And go all the way around again. I'm not careful on how I ink. You want it to look dirty and gross. It is a Halloween project in flower. Flip it over and do exactly the same thing. So thank everyone for hanging out. We are on flower 2. And it is your first tutorial of the day. I'm kicking it off for day 2. I'm Julie with PhotoFabPaperFlowers, and then we hand off the reins to Forever Petals by V, and she is 6 p.m. Eastern tutorial, and then we finish out our night with creating the uncreated with Florist to Explorers. So stay tuned. That'll be a great way to end our evening, or depending when you're watching, morning, afternoon, with Isaac, Florist to Explorers. Lots of laughs. Get an adult beverage. I might be doing that. All right. And then we're going to ink. So you're going to ink all the petals, kind of like we did with our red flower, flower 1. You're going to go around all the sides. So those are our 3 largest, and then we have our 2 medium ones. So again, my Cricut machine is skipping petals for some reason. So I'm not sure if yours is acting up like my design space, but we're gonna put our gloves on like we're doing surgery. Oh my gosh, Bean, you probably kind of know if you went shopping with him what he's up to. God knows. I can't wait. Perfect night, like on a Saturday night of entertainment with his own variety show. We're going to again ink all these like we did with our flower 1. I come up, I am inking these. And because this is our main petal, you do want to make sure you get kind of down towards the center here. Now this orange I'm using is from the Tangerine paper pack by Recollections from Michaels. I just have like, and I don't even know what color it is from there. I have a whole bunch of open ones. I do love the Tangerine pack. You can also use Astro Brights, but 65 pounds tends to work the best with our flowers. And now we just come down the opposite side. So we want it dirty and gross to really show off the shape. I know, I don't know what Larry's, maybe it's Larry, I don't know. Larry's skipping petals since yesterday. I don't know if it needs an update, the app. I think the iOS updated. Now, I don't use the computer. I use the app on my phone or my iPad. Mostly my phone. I literally have to count on Design Space how many petals and then figure out which ones it didn't cut. Okay, so now we're just inking both sides, and this one you definitely need to because you do see it. Now, if you were doing a super dark color, then you wouldn't have to ink. Like black or a dark, like the amethyst purple that we use sometimes. Now come down the opposite side. So I do want it dirty. Hope you're enjoying today's tutorial so far. Again, we thank you so much for all your love and support. I'm just hanging out and chit-chatting. It's sad because I'm sitting here just well, I'm talking to all of you, but it was nice when we were together. You could hear our giggles and our chit-chats together. Okay, we're going to ink. So I'm just going down one side. I do have to hold each little individual petal so they don't move around on me. So it doesn't go as fast, but... And we'll make sure we get done here so you can take a quick break and then hop on over to V's. I might have to run, get dinner quick. Pick up something fast. And we're just coming down the opposite side. And then we do exactly the same thing on the opposite side. And again, you do need to do both sides, especially for this, because these are super thin and you can see them from all different angles. And my hand is getting, you know, the what is it? Not residual, the residue of the ink that's on my gloves there, and that's okay. So these would be super pretty in any arrangement. This is a great filler flower. So to use like with peonies, not necessarily like with your black ink, but the shape of this flower, how it ends up being. Okay, now we come down the opposite side. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? I know a lot of you like to ink, and Chrissy is having, I think, one of her first shows. I saw she's on a market today. All right, so then we have our center 3. We have 4 of those. And for these, again, we just place it down on our piece of copy paper or scratch paper, and you just brush the ink over it. So I start at the bottom, well, I hold it with my hand, and then just brush. Flip it over and do exactly the same thing. Hold it with your finger and brush it out. Okay, and then I hold it and then I do 2 of the petals. I just brush the very tip. Flip it over so you can see those. Flip it over and get the tips for the next ones. So we did that to all those. And then for our center number, that was center 1, I'm sorry. Center 3, we have 4 of these, and these are our rolled center. And all I do is I literally hold it and just brush over the top. Again, I use the Cricut Premium Fine Cut Blade. I just leave that in all the time for all my cuts. Uh-oh! Florist the Explorers, hello there! Is that a hint to your tutorial of creating the uncreated? I'm at, I guess I'm channeling Flower Camp because I'm wearing a Camp Crystal Lake t-shirt today. And it says Camp Counselor. I just can't get away from being at camp. Alrighty. Now we inked all of our petals. Let's style them. So we have our sepals, our petals, and then our very center. So for our very, and you can see I lost one cutting, don't worry about it. Inspiring the undead, I love that. For our 4 rolled centers, we're going to use the smallest metal ball stylus, and we're going to on our flower shaping mat, you're just going to roll in a circular motion on each of the petals. So it's going to make it look like a teaspoon or a ladle. Maybe not as much of a ladle because it doesn't have that much of a dip. But it's just shaping them to give it so it's not flat. So if you look at it from the side, it looks like a spoon. So happy Saturday, Spooktacular friends. Friends, ghouls, goblins, the undead, zombies, whoever's here. We welcome you into Spooktacular. We channel the undead or inspire them. Or our skeleton friends. But again, if you're not a fan of Halloween, these definitely can be made on Spooky. We don't want to leave anybody out of the creativity. And again, I'm just rolling each of the, I don't know, circles or shapes, the pods, the seeds, in a little bit of a circular motion to give it a little bit of shape and dimension because we don't want it flat. We want it to curl in on the center. This is the part that actually hurts my hand the most. So stretch. Be sure to do your stretches. We did a lot of inking and now rolling of our centers. So be sure, everyone, to hang out for the rest of your evening with Forever Petals by me and Florist the Explorers, who will be live on V's business page. So we have 6 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, I work in Eastern time because I am in PA. So, and I miss my friends in Texas. So that's our centers. We're going to take our slotted quilling tool for those. We're going to assemble this first. So we're going to thread it onto our slotted quilling tool. Hardest part. Okay, you're going to roll it a few times. And then I'm going to hold it there and I'm going to glue it. So you can use craft glue if you're a little worried about adding glue to your center. And just continue to roll it, trying to keep that bottom edge aligned. and then secure the end. Aw, thank you. It's lonely in the craft room. Though the stray kitty in the neighborhood was sitting outside the door. Okay, and you're just going to attach your next one where the last one ended. Again, trying to keep that bottom edge line. I know it's difficult. And we want it to be kind of crazy in the center. Yes, grease too. Oh my God. I have to say that one was the best one. It has so many good songs to sing. And then secure the end. We could be watching spooky movies instead. And we're going to attach the last one. I don't have any watermelon drink, but I think I'm going to have some sweet tea vodka. Ooh, such a fun center. Okay, we remove it from our slotted cooling tool. For our 2 sepals, for the larger one, we're going to use our blue 3/16 inch dowel rod. So it's a coastal blue, and we're going to place that dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, pinch it up and roll. Okay, place it down, thumb, index finger holds the dowel rod in place with your opposite hand. Bring it around the petal, pinch it up around the dowel rod and roll it. Okay, you're just going to roll all of them, flip it over, and then for the smaller one, we're going to take our 1/8 inch dowel rod, which is our purple one, place it down the middle of the petal, pinch it up, and roll. So thank you, everyone. This is flower number 2 we're making from template 4 from the Halloween Spooktacular 2023 mini flower bundle. She's a pretty one. All right, let's flip our large petals over, and we're going to roll all of these up with the 1/8, so the 3 largest. We're going to use our purple 1/8 inch dowel rod. Now I am going to roll them individually. I like to do the large ones first, and because I am right-handed, you're going to see they come in from the right side a little bit more. I don't know what my most favorite song is from there. Maybe the Lonnie Kaylani Luau, or Who's That Guy? Or what's our Michelle Pfeiffer one? Cool Rider. So many good ones. And again, the 3 largest, we're going to roll everything up with the 1/8 inch dowel rod. So it's just giving it some curl. I'm doing the larger ones first, and yes, you are rolling each of them, even these. Once you have that done, then you can just come over and just pinch around. Super fast. I know, our projects. I'm super excited. I'm excited to see yours. I think it'll come together. Positive, Julie, positive. I think I'll like it no matter what. All right, pinch it up and roll. So the 3 largest, we're using 1/8 inch dowel rod and rolling all the petals up. So I just go through, do all the large ones, and then I come back through and I pinch around the smaller petals. Okay. And then for the next two, we like to use the skinnier than 1/8, or what we call the Julie dowel rod. And we do exactly the same thing. I just roll all the larger ones super fast. And again, because I am right-handed, they come in more from the right. She would be a super pretty center for a larger flower. And then I come back through and I roll the other ones. I didn't think we could probably roll. I'll have to try it where we do the opposite. Roll the large up and the small under. Stay focused, Julie. Stay focused. And again, I'm still using the Julie. Everybody liking their flowers today so far? So this one's not hard to make. Especially if you're not inking, it can go super duper fast. And then for our center ones, we're again going to roll them with the 18 gauge wire. So they're going to get that super duper curl. We know tomorrow is a football Sunday, so we hope you can join. I know V is in the morning and then I'm in the early afternoon. I don't watch football, so we're okay. But for those of you who do, we hope you can stay tuned. But again, everything will be saved on our respective Facebook pages. And we will make a playlist for the 2023 Halloween Spooktacular. And be sure to check out last year's. So if you are newer here, we do have them available. And then in the PhotoFab Paper Flower Makers group, in the Files tab, you can just search Halloween or not. You can look up the 2022, the Halloween, and then it should bring you to the handout from last year. Or if you purchase last year's bundle, the handout is in the listing. Okay, and we're just rolling all these up just individually. And then we can assemble this, and then we have another tutorial with Forever Petals by me and Floristy Explorers. Oh, that's just, see, I don't even know that, Stephanie. For our flower number 1, Linda, I used the persimmon color from Spice Market, and then the flower I made during the tutorial, I used red from Michael's, my Recollections. So yeah, I wanted to use red. And now this orange is from the Tangerine paper pack. One of the colors. I just grabbed that. I needed 2 sheets, so. And there we go. She's going to be super duper fun. You can kind of see she's going to change a little. She's going to be a little bit fuller because I added another center and I added 2 more layers because I can see an opening there, and that bothered me. All right. We're going to flip over our larger petals. And because we have these rolled up, we don't need to roll the center for layer 1. Layer 2, we will. So we're going to take our second to smallest. You're going to roll right where the petals meet the base and lift her up. You add glue. And then I just go in between. So the bottom, well, 3 largest are all the same size. Roll right where the petals meet the base with your metal ball stylus on your flower shaping mat. Add some glue. What did you use? A who? The colors? For today's tutorials? roll around where the petals meet the base on your flower shaping mat. Okay, you're going to look at the petals. I'm kind of just placing where the seed ones are. I'm doing the longer petals right down in the center. Oh, I'm sorry. Black soot. The black, we continued with that. And the green is forest moss. But depending on what color you want to use, I just kept it all the same, all my flowers. Even though the color of the paper changes, I'm sticking with the black. And then we have 4 of these. We're going to roll them in the center. We add a little bit of glue. Oh yeah, black. Yeah. Nope, I just used black on the persimmon, and on the red I just used black. I only use the green and the black for the sepals. Only one color today. Place the petals in between the previous layers if you can. Add a dab of glue. And again, I'm looking for open spots. Yeah, this is better. It's fuller. Ooh, I love it. You just never know by what combinations together what something's going to turn out, and it's always the crazy petals that make the most beautiful flowers. And now we just glue our center in there. We're going to add a little bit around, just a little bit on the sides there. Just so it grabs on there. Yeah, much better with the filling it up in the center. I don't know, the glue strings really don't matter because it's Halloween. Super duper pretty. And then we can add our sepals. So with the petals rolled under, right on top, I assemble the large one first. Place it right in the back. Again, you can stem her. Add the glue with the petals rolled under and place them in between the previous layers. I like the layered look with the sepal. So if you only wanted one or none, totally up to you. Definitely better with all the little extra layers that I did compared to this one. It was a little too open, I could see in. And that bothers me. So I added a few more layers for this one. Super duper pretty, but thank you so much for joining us today, or me today, for day 2 of Halloween Spooktacular. My pumpkin just rolled away. I was getting a coffin out. So whether you choose to use the red, persimmon, and again this is from Tangerine Paper Pack. She's super pretty. And that is template 4 mini flower from the Halloween Spooktacular mini flower bundle. So thank you everyone for joining. We're going to give you 15 minutes to get something to eat, a snack, restroom break, and then we're going to hop on over to Forever Petals by V on her page for another tutorial. I'm super excited to hang out. I'll be in the comments, and then followed by Florist the Explorist, inspiring the undead. And it'll be super fun to see what he makes tonight. So again, thank you so much. And we will, I'll see you in the comments on V's page, and I hope I inspired you to create some beautiful flowers with template 4 mini flower from Halloween Spooktacular 2023. So thank you all again for the love and support. And tomorrow we assemble our project, and I will do one flower with you, and I'm going to actually work with V's templates tomorrow. So take care, friends. We'll see you soon. Bye.